I want to do a talk about using LinkedIn as a platform for launching ideas. Now, I've been using LinkedIn since it was a beta, and I consider myself basically a pioneer, innovator on the LinkedIn platform. I believe that I'm probably responsible for some of the hacks that changed the platform. For example, you used to be able to add emails to invites. And basically about 3 years ago, I wanted to basically reach out to every VC about, helping to support Eduit. So I did a search for VCs and I just invited them all. Some, I don't know, 500, and I would just say, hey, I'd like your input on this. I'm launching this, and I'll just put a link, which was actually a very clever hack, because ultimately why wouldn't you click on that link and look at, Eduit? Well, what happened was, they no longer put links in invitations. Now, that's just some, and there's obviously probably other things that I've done to help improve. Probably the text limit and everything else. And probably the whole invite who you want. Now it's really impossible on LinkedIn to build massive networks because I've implemented certain things. However, LinkedIn is really a great platform if because one is the leadership team, the folks you want to reach, the advisors, investors, team members are all there, right? Has them all. If you go to Kickstarter, you're not going to get that. If you go to, if you go to, let's say, CapLinked, which is also a good tool to use, and I'll talk about these different tools. So ultimately, you want to be in a social network that is business oriented, and LinkedIn is that. So I want to explain to you one of my systems for using LinkedIn, which is different, and I'm a pioneer in this. No one else does this. I'm the first guy to do this, and I believe, and I'll explain to you why it's important. Instead of there are basically two types of ways to there's one type of way to set up a profile, and you set up usually your profile as a connection, right? It's connection and company. People, connection, company. Now, technically speaking, or maybe it's people and company, whatever. Well, under connection, you have a thing there. It shows up as connection, right? It doesn't show up as people. It says connection. So it's people and company, right? Now, the legal definition, a company is legally a person, right? An incorporated entity is a person. So something that I've done is I've basically pioneering the corporate profile or the idea profile, right? Versus just the person profile. Now, what I do is under the name, the first name, I put the idea. So helpjapan.com, right? Help Japan Co. CO, Help Japan Co. is the first name. The last name is under the terms of agreement. You have to have a real person identified. So what I do is put my name, founder, Michael J. Trout, founder. Boom. Okay. And then what I do is I pretty much set up the whole profile to represent the organization. Now, why do I do this? Well, a couple reasons. One is under the company, the next thing I do is set up the company. So one is I show up as basically an employee of the company, or in my say, I'm the team member, so I show up on the team, right? Number two is, by doing it this way, you can get people to endorse your vision, your idea. And if you read, you'll see that I have some endorsements saying, hey, I endorse what Michael Trout's doing, I endorse the idea. So instead of getting recommendations, think of recommendations as endorsements from your your potential stakeholders. And that's important because obviously you want endorsements and recommendations. Now, you'll notice that Help Japan Co. is only a month old, and yet I already have 300 connections on it. Now, how did I do that? Well, it's simple. When you create a profile, you can invite. Now, the fact that my friends and people know, I'm basically crowdsourcing this project out to my stakeholders, people who know me, people I do business with, whatever. So by sending that out, all of a sudden you're basically alerting them that, hey, this new idea is here, we're forming it, please follow it, and you have your followers. So don't have to worry about building up another, oh, how am I going to build up another LinkedIn? Well, if you have already a LinkedIn presence, then it's going to be easy for you to actually, build it up. So having a company as a person listed allows you also, which is very important, to actually show partners in the corporation. So if you go down to link to Help Japan Co., you'll see that we have a prime partner, PCN Strategies. And you're going to see more and more companies as we identify them to show themselves. We have basically, really, there's actually four ways, and one is we have a team member. Now, we're a Foundup. In Foundup, there's no titles. Everyone's a team member. When you're a startup, you get a title. Okay, so in the Foundup stage, there is no title, and there is basically just team member and advisor. And the two are very, a team member just means active, advisor's passive. An advisor in a Foundup is different than an advisor in a startup. Advisor in a startup is more of a legal, advisor in a Foundup is just an endorser. You're endorsing and saying, hey, I endorse this idea. Hey, I want to, help out. And B, once you get some traction, I may want to invest in it. So please keep me in mind, but I want to be, on there. The other thing that we'll see is a prime partner. Prime partner are basically our primes. When we secure contracts in Japan, our primes are the ones that are going to basically, execute those contracts. Now, we're going to be doing some interesting things. So, unlike the federal contracting system where you must select one or the other, we're going to be mismatching, merging them together, and we're all going to benefit from this, from helping Japan. So we don't have the restrictions that the federal contract vehicle has. The Help Japan Co. contract vehicle is going to be a lot easier to play with, right? Much more user friendly. So the third type is really a strategic partner. A strategic partner are going to be like NGOs, MPOs that align with us. And the whole idea here is we're going to basically take our profits and fund them through these organizations. Really simple. We're a social venture. We make money and we push the money out to help to be good to humanity. So by setting up LinkedIn in this fashion, by either creating a corporate profile for you or your company, you allow the ability to basically attach partners visibly. You allow the ability to actually, show your team member and so on. The other thing too is on the corporate page things, you can do a lot of things by adding services and solutions. My thinking is you don't even need a home page anymore. Just use your LinkedIn, right? Use your LinkedIn company profile as your home page. Why do I need another page? I have services, I have solutions there, I show my team, I show you my Twitter, what's going on. It's dynamic. So, LinkedIn is an amazing tool if you have a Foundup, right? A Foundup is an idea for a lean startup, bootstrapping a proof of concept. So if you have a Foundup, LinkedIn is great to go. If you have a company, LinkedIn is great to go. If you are sole proprietor, pushing us up, LinkedIn is a great place to go. You really don't need, you can set up a bit.ly to point to you or buy a domain and mask it to your corporate profile. You know, LinkedIn, I've been saying for a year now, LinkedIn has a massive potential. And when the federal government, or when the SEC relaxes crowdfunding, and LinkedIn could develop basically, just as you have the questions and answers section, that could easily be tweaked and added a layer to being basically crowdfunding and offering either crowdfunding through equity contributions, right? There's two types of crowdfunding: equity contribution crowdfunding. Actually, there's three types. Well, equity and return on profits is really the same. So equity driven and also contribution driven. Equity driven is micro seed investing. Contribution given is just is really contribution driven. They're not micro seed. They're actually contributors, right, to it. So you're either a contributor or a micro seed investor for crowdfunding. So I hope this talk will, open your mind to, to using LinkedIn in a very viral way to help you launch your business. Now, Foundups Corp is there as basically an open incubator. We're an open incubator. No matter where you are in the world, you can join our open incubator, right, of Foundups. So, I would invite you to join Foundups. By joining Foundups, you get to use our brand, Foundups Corp, Foundups brand, and our terminology. And not only that, you can use our system for a small fee. So, bring us, for more information, check out foundups.com or foundups.org. It's Foundups with an S, founder. And, get back to me. My name is Michael Trout. I'm here trying to help ideas launch into great startups. And, a good model for my framework is to watch Help Japan Co. Help Japan Co. It was founded a month ago as a response to help in the recovery of Japan. Where I live, I'm in Japan right now. Here's the rice fields, as you can see. I'm not in DC. This is definitely not Houston, people. Here's some of my old students coming right near. I used to teach at this elementary school, and they probably don't know any of their English because I was the best teacher they had, but now they've lost it all. But I love Japan. I care about Japan. My wife's Japanese. My kids are Japanese, and I'm gonna not sit aside and basically let the smaller communities, get hit. Yay! 久しぶりね。大丈夫？大丈夫。うんね。大丈夫。ね、こら、カルマ。はい。Say, what's your name? My name is.
My name is Tachiyakato.
Oh, good. What's your name?
My name is Yugaigashi.
Oh, very good. またね。後で。ね、see? Be careful. Yeah, these are elementary school kids of mine. And they were young. The one who said his name first is dyslexic. And also, here's another student. And he's so much like me. God, I mean, he basically, he just does my antics. I mean, I hated school, and this guy, he will not, he'll refuse and fight and want to run away from school. I mean, he is completely me. That's how I was growing up. Basically wanting to disrupt the system, not wanting to learn, wanting to make waves. I guess that's why I'm an entrepreneur. Because I just not one of these people to sit behind a desk and work for some corporation and, and basically make some fucker rich, after my goodwill. I mean, I've always worked for myself. So, anyway, that's a little sidetrack. I plan to turn Help Japan Co. into basically the launch company and example using the Open framework, and I believe it could be a $100 million company within the year. If we land 1-2 contracts in Japan and bring the team in to do the kind of work that needs to be done, you're looking at huge potential contract. And to take that money and to help out the small villages like I live in Japan and help these individuals recover, because I'm going to focus on the tier 2 and tier 3 communities, or tier 3 and tier 2. Tier 3 meaning villages. Tier 2 meaning towns. Because these are the people who are going to get fucked over. I'm sorry if it upsets you to say fuck, but they are. They're going to get fucked over by the Japanese government. They're going to be disenfranchised. They're going to be displaced. Their communities will not be rebuilt. And you can, you know, and that's, there was some professor on New York Times or something just talking about it. So you can, if you don't believe me, believe some professor. So the only option for me as an entrepreneur was to drop everything, pivot from doing Foundups to starting a new social venture, and to do good. I mean, that's all I can do. All I can do is try. All I can do. That's it. What you choose to do, how you choose to participate, is completely up to you. And if you want to make excuses why you won't be an advisor, or make excuses why whatever, like you know, you don't have enough time or whatever, that's you, not me. All I can do is invite you. The whole idea is establishing a collaborative framework where I say, listen world, I've got this project. I want to help the world and I'd like you part of it. Lend me your name, lend me a little bit of your time, and we will make a difference, I promise you.